Hello, listeners. Today is February 1st, 2025, and this is The Science of Self. Today's episode is from the book Happy Brain, Happy Life by Peter Hollins. Are you struggling with happiness, fulfillment, or making better decisions? The root cause? It might be your brain. In this eye-opening book, Peter Hollins breaks down complex neuroscience concepts into simple, practical methods to rewire your brain for a happier, more fulfilling life. Join us as we explore these fascinating concepts and discover how you can master your brain to improve every aspect of your life. Let's prevent self-sabotage and create real neural changes that lead to massive positive effects in our daily lives. A healthy brain is one that needs to be able to resist many of life's unfortunate threats and hazards, and if injury is sustained, the brain should be able to recover as quickly as possible. In other words, a healthy brain is resilient. So far, we've mentioned a few rather scary things that can happen to the human brain in the course of its lifetime: Alzheimer's disease, brain damage, sleep deprivation, and the ravages of drug and alcohol use, to name just a few. The shocking fact, however, is that the biggest threat to our brain health is not unexpected head injuries or dementia, but rather from a more pervasive, everyday danger: chronic stress. What stress does to your brain? Well, stress is everywhere. It's a part of life. And most of us will have to deal with various levels of stress all throughout our lives. But if stress is everywhere, so is resilience and coping. In this section, we'll consider the quite serious effects of prolonged stress on the brain, but also take a look at the good news, how to manage it, and even, if we're lucky, thrive in it. First, let's define exactly what we're talking about. Stress can be understood as the body's reaction to challenges and demands in the environment. This is important. Stress is not in your world. It's in your brain. The stress reaction is part of our biological mechanisms for survival. Stress forms part of that complicated response that helps us focus on and protect ourselves against threats. When the body is stressed, it floods with a cascade of hormones, adrenaline, cortisol, that in turn trigger the release of a host of other hormones. The point of this response is to mobilize action that will keep you safe. For example, you may be walking in the woods and your sense organs, eyes and ears, tell you that a wolf is nearby. This perception triggers a series of responses that prime you to act to save yourself: increased heart rate, decreased digestion, pupil dilation, hyperfocus. When the danger passes and the wolf moves on, your body returns to baseline and relaxes again. This finely tuned evolutionary mechanism doesn't always help us when it comes to the stressors of the modern world, however. Dwelling on money trouble, ruminating over social aggravations, getting stuck in traffic, or worrying about climate change are all stimuli that may be perceived in just the same way as a wolf in the forest, except the danger might never sufficiently pass, and the body remains in a chronic, prolonged state of hyperarousal that never abates. A fight-or-flight response is triggered when the HPA axis, which includes the hypothalamus, the pituitary, and the adrenal system, is activated. They orchestrate the release of hormones throughout the body that then stimulate the nervous system. The entire organism undergoes changes. For example, digestion stops, muscles tighten, and heart rate increases. The mind takes on a tunnel vision quality and focuses with heightened awareness on the perceived threat, excluding everything else from awareness. Bruce McEwen is a neuroscientist from Rockefeller University, and he claims that because stress changes the way the brain's neurons communicate with each other, Chronic stress can cause our brains, nervous systems, and our behavior to adjust to a vigilant and reactive state. Taken to the extreme, this state of hypervigilance can be observed in PTSD and has even been known to affect gene expression across generations. The narrowing of awareness that comes with this kind of hyperfocus means that the brain is constantly giving preferential attention to only those things it perceives as a danger. You can imagine the profound effects of this on a person's worldview over the course of years. Chronic stress damages the entire body, and it can wreak havoc on the brain, leading to long-term inflammation, headaches, memory impairment, disturbed mood, irritability, loss of concentration, and more. If you are constantly stressed, you may tighten your neck muscles and never release them, leading to spasms and pain over time. If you constantly tense your brain and mind in the same way, similar problems occur: cognitive overload, overwhelm, and a loss of ability to focus. Again, it may be a question of a vicious cycle. For example, we worry about an important upcoming decision and stress about the outcome. But because we do, we put ourselves into a prolonged state of strain, fatiguing our brain, so that over time we genuinely do lose cognitive ability and, ironically, make that poor decision we were so worried about making, which starts us off stressing again. Other evidence of a chronically stressed out brain includes depression or mood swings, anxiety, nervousness, feeling burned out, feelings of overwhelm, irritation and cynicism, procrastination, brain fog and trouble paying attention, worry and rumination, obsessive thinking, intrusive thoughts, memory problems, nightmares. A little stress for a little while can be a good thing. It helps you pay attention, gets out of danger, and mobilize yourself so that you can rise to challenging tasks. A lot of stress for a long time, however, can be fatal and can reduce your ability to respond to life's challenges in the long term. Keeping stress at bay. The goal is not to have a perfect, easy life with zero challenge or adversity. Rather, the idea is to take advantage of your brain's inbuilt ability for change and growth, that is, its neuroplasticity, and deliberately cultivate your own resilience and coping. We have several ways to reduce the harmful effects of stress on our bodies and minds. 1. Take realistic and active steps to reduce stress triggers in everyday life. 2. Build self-awareness so that we know when we're becoming stressed and exactly how to relieve and manage that stress. 3. Live well, despite the inevitable tensions and discomforts of life, i.e., become mentally tough and resilient. For example, if you notice that work stress is beginning to take its toll on your health, you can tackle the problem from these 3 perspectives. First, do what can be done to reduce unreasonable workloads and manage expectations on you. This may mean better boundaries and communication with your boss. It may also mean paying better attention to diet, exercise, or other lifestyle habits. Second, you can try to build more awareness about how you're feeling and how stress shows up in your body. Then, take the time every single day to release that tension. For example, through yoga, guided visualizations, or fun leisure activities that help you take your mind off things. Finally, you can remind yourself that you are in fact capable of enduring occasional stress because you are strong and can cope. You may use affirmations or certain ways of reframing your thinking to remind yourself that you have survived in the past and will continue to survive now. These 3 approaches overlap with one another in real life. Setting better boundaries may in fact boost your feeling of mastery and control, for example, and taking better care of your diet, sleep, and exercise may mean you're better able to really believe in your coping affirmations and trust in your own resilience. One way to consistently stay on top of stress in your life is to have a regular stress management ritual. Don't wait for life to get out of control or for feelings of overwhelm to stress you. By that point, it may be far too late. Instead, make sure that you're acknowledging and releasing stress each and every day, or multiple times a day if possible. An effective stress management ritual can be whatever you want, but it does need to be realistically achievable every day. And it should genuinely help you relieve tension and feel calmer and more relaxed. Some examples. 1. Take 20 minutes every evening to read an enjoyable book in bed before sleep. Perhaps light a candle, settle in comfortably, and deliberately give yourself permission to forget about everything else but your book. 2. Take 5 minutes or so after completing your day's work to lie flat on the floor, breathe deeply, relax, and do nothing. Imagine a warm, glowing light washing over you and removing all traces of stress and worry from the day just gone. 3. Go for a walk every evening after dinner with your dogs and make a point of noticing all the little signs of the season in nature around you, enjoying the sights, smells, and sounds, perhaps even taking a few moments to rest with bare feet on the grass before going home. 4. Make your morning shower your special sanctuary time and mentally prepare for the day ahead by repeating positive affirmations to yourself. Perhaps you could use high-quality soaps and shampoos that you love and take your time to feel clean, refreshed, and pampered. 5. Wait till you've put the kids to bed, then put on some good music and do some deeply relaxing stretching in your living room. You don't need to spend money or do anything unusual to build stress management into your daily routine. In fact, it's better to do little, but do it often. Try to incorporate as many 5-minute windows of relaxation all throughout your day as possible. And the easier they are, the better. That said, you can also derive benefit from less frequent and more intensive relaxation efforts, such as a weekly massage, taking short weekend trips away, or a meditation retreat. The 4-7-8 breathing technique. The best stress management techniques are those that are easy, simple, and can be done anywhere for any length of time. Nothing could be easier and simpler than a breathing exercise, and Dr. Andrew Weil has a great stress-relieving breathing exercise he likes to teach his patients. The technique is straightforward. You can inhale for the count of 4, hold your breath for the count of 7, and finally exhale slowly for the count of 8. This breathing pattern resembles certain pranayama techniques from yoga and can be incredibly relaxing. It might not seem like much, but this particular ratio of in-breath to out-breath can quickly activate your parasympathetic nervous system and counter the fight-or-flight mode of chronic stress. What's more, it can be used either in the heat of the moment during stressful situations or more as a preventative measure and everyday mental health maintenance routine. While there are variations on this style of breathing, don't worry about getting things exactly right. Any focused, slowed breathing will help calm you down. And as mentioned before, rest is not something to try to optimize. That said, here are a few things to keep in mind. Make sure you're sitting or lying comfortably. Exhale through the mouth and inhale through the nose. As you exhale, you can try making an audible whoosh sound. You can breathe this way for as long as you like, but try to do a minimum of 4 or 5 cycles. You may be surprised at just how much calmer you feel after just a few cycles of breathing this way. Try the technique whenever you notice yourself becoming irritable or overwhelmed, or use it to disrupt an anxiety spiral before it spins out of control. You can use this technique as a kind of break that interrupts not just the physiological cascade of the stress reaction, but everything that stems from it, including your automatic negative thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. The technique is great for use when driving, just before a nerve-wracking speech or presentation, during exams, in the morning to prepare for the day ahead, or in the evening to process what's already transpired, in the gym, or combined with any other mindfulness activity like walking or yoga. Of course, good stress management includes taking active steps in life to reduce sources of stress and learning to be resilient. But neither of these can be done unless you're feeling calm enough first. The above breathing exercise is always a great move, no matter what you choose to do next. You don't need to be a scientist to make your brain work for you. Happy Brain, Happy Life provides a step-by-step guide on how to fine-tune your brain to its best possible condition. From understanding what makes a happy and healthy brain to specific actions and behaviors that promote health, wealth, and love, this book is packed with valuable insights. Peter Hollins has spent over a dozen years studying psychology and peak human performance. His expertise shines through as he discusses topics like neuroplasticity, serotonin levels, stress management, breathing techniques, and the power of social connections in shaping our brains and lives. The audiobook version of Happy Brain, Happy Life is now available on Amazon, iTunes, and Audible. You can also visit Peter's website at bit.ly/Peter Hollins to learn more about his work. To get your copy of this transformative audiobook, check out the show notes for the link to the Audible. And thanks for joining us on The Science of Self, where you improve your life from the inside out.